Hello, Kemi, good day.
Hello, John. How are you?
First of all, I just want to say congratulations on your sequel and also the first Nigerian Netflix original. It's
Hey,
very
hey.
exciting to see
Thank you.
your
Thank you so much. I
contribution.
appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, it's very exciting to see African talent just shine and rise in a global scale.
I know, right? I know, right? I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm excited for the world to get a taste of our own type of filmmaking, our own stories. Yes.
Yes, no, definitely. And okay, I'm Jonathan from Active Spaces.
Nice to
And it
meet
just
you, John.
great to meet you too. We're from South Africa, and Active Spaces is a platform that just speaks about all things industry related and also just celebrates and uplifts actors within the acting industry in South Africa and Africa at large as well. And
Okay.
just before we start, actually, just want to ask you, how are you? How are you feeling? This is finally out and on such a global, scale. How is that feeling for you?
I am absolutely excited and my anxiety levels are like right here also. So it's like a perfect dance. So I was mentioning to someone today. I said I can't wait for the 27th, and I can wait for the 27th. So it's just like I can't wait for people to see it. I was like, oh my god, it's because I remember I was telling someone. I said, look, no one has seen this thing yet, and look at all the buzz that's happening. I could tell you they're flying horses in the film, and you'd be like, really? What? But then at some point, it's going to come out, and I would be marked the awarded points based on what everybody is seeing, and it's a very scary thought. But then one thing that I'm very happy about is I I emptied my vessel. I tipped over my cup. I didn't leave anything behind. So I know that I worked hard. I know that I did my best. And then I can't hold on to it because I didn't make it for myself. I made it for the universe. So it has to be released to everybody. So this is the point. We had the baby. So now it's to show everyone and go like, hey, look at the baby. Is it pretty? I hope you don't say it's ugly. So this is this is the moment that we have to show the world what we have done in private.
Yeah. And just speaking about the moment wanting to show the world as well, what are some activities you've been doing, but also some activities you've done for your audience to, get amped up for this release next week, you know?
Oh, activities. I don't know if they're like. I mean, of course, we've been having press junkets and stuff like that, and releasing teasers and trailers. And I've been known apparently to be a little bit of a tease on social media. So I go out there and do my thing and interact with the followers of the title. But I think something that's very important to me is even with all the teasing, is to have something to back it up with. So one thing I don't want to do is trick anybody. So I want to tease you, I want to draw you in, but when you open the door, I want you to have a feast. So I'm not gonna stand at the door and give you like a single cracker and a bottle of water and go, okay, bye. I said, come in, put your feet up. Look at this table. You want some turkey? You want some chicken? You want some rice? You want some pasta? What you want? So
Yeah.
I think that's what KOB does. KOB, the Return of the King, does for people. So I think we have all that, the perfect medley. So I'm quite confident. I'm quite confident about it. You watched it. What did you think? You saw a bit of it. Did you
We're gonna
enjoy
get
it?
there now. I actually really like it, but we're gonna get there now as well. I know,
Okay.
but just
Okay.
thinking about also you being so confident. I recently watched an interview of yours, and in your own words, you said everything that you touch turns into gold. And
You
you
recently
are.
watched?
Oh, you said I watched an interview of yours recently, and you said in your own words,
Okay.
everything I touch turns into gold. When you were asked
Oh, that's
about,
definitely, yeah.
sorry.
I said that's definitely something I would say. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And now also you're a pioneer, in the in Nollywood, being the first Nollywood filmmaker to have an original show on Netflix as well. And there are a lot of aspiring filmmakers coming into the industry, but a lot of them don't know about the realities of the industry. They're coming in with heads in the clouds, to be stars. How would you say your journey actually from King of the Boys to King of the Boys, the Return of the King? How has that journey been for you? And the challenge is also just some great introspects that you've received during that journey. How has that been, and what were those lessons?
So first off, like, yes, that's definitely something I would say. Anything I touch turns to gold. Anything I touch will be gold. But then it's not from a place of hubris. It really is a place of belief in the work that I do. Because like I say, I empty myself. I will throw my entire in. I cry on my projects. I laugh on my projects. I will cut myself and spill blood. When we were shooting this particular one, I had an arm brace on because I don't know what happened. I just couldn't move my arm. And I had a brace on my knee and I was using a walking stick. And then there were many times like, I'd be about to go in and they're checking my BP and I go, it's a little bit high. And I'm like, look, even if they have to bring me on a stretcher, I will finish this project. And that's it. I don't make any excuses. So that's also why I don't make any excuses from anyone there. So I don't give myself said and done. It doesn't mean I don't get slapped in the face when I go on set. There are many times that I will walk in on set and I see because we will have a crew of like over 100 people. This is without talent and extras and everything. And they're all looking at you to lead. And at that moment, you're blank. And it's just like, what do I do now? There are moments that you have that, or I'm a baby too. What are you talking about? Like, why are you looking at me to lead? There are moments where things go wrong and people are freaking out. And look, I want to go on the ground too and start crying and rolling on the floor. But then something that I always say to myself is, how about try plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D. Once you run through everything that you can do, then Kemi, once you run through everything you can do to fix this, then I give you permission to go on the ground and cry and roll around. Now, while you still have options to be able to fix this, you're not allowed to do that. So how about that? So it's a deal like I make with myself. And by the time I get to B, it's usually sorted out. Do you understand what I mean? Or I remember, especially in KOB1, my brother, Kemi Adetiba, who also produced both of them, I'd come and I'm blank. And I go to him, he's like, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything. We have to shut it down. I'm not seeing anything. And he'll go, okay. We'll shut it down. So let's do this. Just take one shot. Just one shot. And if nothing comes after that, I'll shut it down and we'll go home. You promise? Yes, I promise. And I'll take the one shot and the one shot will lead to the next one and it'll lead to the next one and lead to the next one. And then we wrap for the day. And I'm like, how did we do this? So no one ever says that you're not going to look. Anyone that shoots any movie, whether it's a political thriller or a romantic comedy, you're going into this terrain, this very difficult terrain, to bring fantasy to the audience. I promise you will battle lions, tigers, and bears. But then what would save these people from these people is when those things come, do you go, I cannot deal with this. There are too many missiles coming at me. I'm just going to run around, run away. Or you bring out your spears, you bring out your daggers and go, let's go. All right, you want to play? Let's play. You might get some licks in, you might draw blood, but I'm going to have your skin on my couch. So that's it. So that is the way I focus. Every time I go on set, it's like I'm going to war. Don't stand in front of me. I'm going to take you down. So I always see problems as obstacles, like road bumps. I use this analogy all the time. It's like I am trying to get to, let's say, Johannesburg. Yeah. And then on my way to Johannesburg, all those things that come at me will not stop me from getting to Johannesburg. I've already visualized myself in Johannesburg. I visualized myself in Sandton already. I visualized myself in what's that mall, the famous mall. I can already see myself there. all the problems that come, all the obstacles that come, they're just obstacles, they're road bumps. And what happens in a roadblock with a road bump? You might need to slow down depending on what car you're driving. If you drive like me, but you might need to slow down and then go over and then you carry on your merry way. So that's the way I see obstacles. They're not supposed to stop the journey. I'm already there spending rand in my head. My body just needs to meet my head. So when I see all these things happening, I just got to maybe slow down to get over the bump and just keep going, so yeah.
That's amazing. And I'm getting a lot of information from that as well right now. Just watching the show, I realized there were a lot of political and also spiritual influences in there. And as an African continent, our spirituality and politics are kind of go hand in hand. They form part of our fabric all the time. So I actually wanted to ask, was this story inspired by kind of the Nigerian political climate in that as well, but also in the sense kind of African political climate at large?
So first of all, I'm going to put my disclaimer out, like you saw in the first card of the series. It's a very fictional story, very, very fictional story. But I think the very important thing for me in creating anything is being as authentic as possible. Being a storyteller, I'm always, when I'm around people, I'm naturally inquisitive to what they have to say. So I'm not one of those people that likes to hear my voice all the time. I do talk quite a bit, but then I'm not one of those people that likes to hear my voice all the time because I'm naturally very curious about other people. And in the course of this, people exchange experiences with me, people exchange situations with me. And it's not like I'm actively thinking about it or memorizing it, but then I think subconsciously I'm finding it in a way someplace. And then 5 years down the line, I'm creating something that's in a vein or close to this situation. Now I've heard a story that is in this vein. How can I put mascara on that story, put lipstick on that story, elevate that story to fit in? I read a lot. I watch lots of stuff, so I'm always constantly inspired. I'm a creative, and you're a creative also. Like it's sometimes it's like information overload when we get into places, too many colors, too many sounds, too many, and so I'm always constantly soaking in, but I'm never necessarily soaking in to regurgitate on the paper or on visual. Is just who we are. We just take stuff in. And then when we happen to be placed in a situation where, what would this sound like if I wanted to create this world? I now dig into this file of facts of conversations or experiences, personal experiences, other people's experiences, because guess what? I think the main thing for me in capital letters, written in bold and underlined 3 times, is authenticity. You need to be able to see even these characters and go, this lady's like my auntie. And that's the thing about KOB. When they see, like, I'm not saying people's aunties are like gangsters, in the underworld, but they could go, her personality, oh my God, is spot on. I have people come to me all the time, like, she's like my aunt, or this first character is like my uncle. I've written, like, for instance, Eniola Salami's character is a mixture of 5 or 6 different inspirations. One of them is my mom. So it could be like from the way she speaks, or how would she answer this question, or how would she, so it's like a melting pot of like 5 or 6 women that I want, like if I was to merge all these women into one, who would they be like? And when I'm writing or when I'm creating, I'm very authentic to that vision. So I am never, when you're reading the script, I should be able to take out Eniola's name, and then you have every other person that she's having a conversation. We take out everybody's name. And then when you see her dialogue box, you could go, that's Eniola Salami, because only she would say something like this, or only she would do something like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. And character development is very important, and we appreciate that. Yes. Well.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for just participating in this interview. You've given me so many gems, and just even our audience, who are, we want to educate as well in this industry. You've given them so much to think about, but unfortunately we don't have time anymore. I wish I could spend the whole day with you, but thank you so much.
No, thank you.
This has been amazing.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Let's
much.
see what Jenny as well going forward.